Hello, welcome to Wines and Creators. My name is Kelly with Hope Road Hypnosis, and here is Pablo Iglesias.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm well, and yourself?
So far, so good.
Yay.
So tell me about you, Kelly. Where are you born?
So I'm born in the Bay Area, and I've been in Napa about 40 years.
Wow. Why Napa?
Why Napa for?
For to be like the person can help people like with hypnosis.
Okay.
How you start in hypnosis?
So years ago, I had that moment in my life where I woke up and said, "Wow, everything needs to change in my life.
Right.
It needs to happen now, right? It needs to be me. I'm the person who needs to shift everything." So I started on my own healing journey years ago for me to shift everything around me. And as I went through my own healing journey, right, and learned so NLP and then hypnosis, I fell in love with hypnosis. And what I loved about it, and still do love about it, is that you can make pretty rapid changes in a short amount of time. And so as I was watching the magic happen with me, those around me were saying, "Hey, you're really good at this." And I was like, "Man, they're kind of right." And so I was like, "Wow, this is great." So I didn't start out to become a hypnotherapist, but it ended up that way just for my own personal journey to shift and heal and get to a better place.
So who was your mentor in this?
So my mentor.
Right.
So I have a beautiful woman named Vicky who's still my mentor, right?
Wow.
And I believe we all should have a mentor in our lives,
Right.
right? So Vicky's a beautiful woman who lives down in where's she at? San Jose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Silicon Valley.
San Jose.
Okay.
Proper. Yeah.
Around.
Yeah. And so yeah, she's my mentor. Just helps me every week we check in and here's what's going on. Here's what's going on.
So in general, what kind of situation do you handle? How do people come to you? So I'm involved in situation like cigarettes, alcohol. What kind of situation do you look?
So for the most part, most of the folks that come and sit right where you are, right? So the majority is anxiety. Generalized anxiety or crippling anxiety that's stopping them in their lives from moving forward. A lot of sleep issues we have as well. Hypnosis is known mainly for stop smoking and weight loss. However, that's not the majority of what I see and hear. So the majority of it is anxiety, but then there's other things like PTSD.
What is PTSD?
Post-traumatic stress disorder.
Oh.
Yes. Phobias, fears.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah. So hypnosis is fabulous in that it can be used with almost anything and everything, any issue that may arise.
So how you make that? You have like a ball? Can you start to moving and the people start to sleeping? How you make that? I'm curious. So
I know it's funny. Yes, hypnosis has to some degree has a bad rap because of the movies, right? What we see in the movies, but it's nothing like that at all. So the fabulous thing about hypnosis is that it is a state, a natural state that we go in and out of at least twice a day. So as we're waking up in the morning and as we're falling asleep at night, we are actually coming in and out of hypnosis. Or a lot of people we call it driving hypnosis. So have you ever been like downtown and you're driving home and then when you get home, you realize, how did I make it home? I don't remember driving. I know I went through stoplights and stop signs, there were other cars on the road, people walking their dogs. I don't remember driving home. So that's a form of hypnosis, where your unconscious mind, right, is driving, right, while you're so focused on a concern or an issue at the time. So it's a natural state that we come in and out of, right? Yeah. Wow. So it's really about relaxing our bodies, right?
So show me something. I'm here, I'm relax my body, okay? And what more?
Well, it's not 1, 2, 3 in, right?
Oh,
it does take a little while, right? Yeah. So if you go ahead and close your eyes, right, and just relax, right? Find your center as you sit on the couch there. And we're going to start with something so simple. We're just going to start with you imagining the number 3 in front of you 3 times. Okay? I'll walk you through this. So 3.
3.
And then just silently, you can say it to yourself. Imagine, see, experience the number 3 in front of you. So 3.
3.
And then 3.
3.
And then 3 again.
3.
That's right. So simple and easy. As we now have you imagine the number 2 in front of you 3 times. So 2.
2.
2.
2.
And 2 again.
2.
That's right. Now we'll have you imagine the number 1 in front of you 3 times. So 1.
1.
1.
1.
And 1 again.
1.
That's right. 3, 2, 1. As you turn your attention inwards.
Wow.
And begin to be aware of your breath. Just focus on your breathing. That's right. So there's the beginning of
Wow,
hypnosis.
I feel so different.
Right?
Seriously, I feel so different. So come to the office of Kelly here, because really, I'm 1 minute ago, and now I'm different. So imagine in the session.
Yes.
Yeah, have a lot of benefits.
And so here's the little kind of quote, like the science behind it, right? It's so fascinating to me that our brains are creating electrical impulses.
Right.
Which is basically, I'm not a medical doctor, the neurons speaking to one another, right? So if we put an EEG machine on our heads and we read those electrical impulses, they would be seen as waves. So brain waves, right? And they've identified 5 main brain waves. And one of those, theta is that hypnotic state, that trance state, right? The meditative state, deep meditation, or we think of like monks doing deep prayer, right? And so what they're doing is they're shifting the brainwave down to that theta level. And theta is that place right before you fall asleep. So you're never asleep in hypnosis, simply deeply relaxed.
Right.
So with that, just that short exercise we did, the 3, 2, 1, that's going from the creative brain wave, shifting down, alert and awake, down to the creative brainwave, right?
Right.
And then that's just before the theta. And then we just walk you into that. So it's just all about shifting, right?
Wow.
Our focus from out to in to in.
What kind of studies do you have? What do you study?
So what do I study?
Yeah.
So I read a lot of books. So I've taken more classes than a girl needs. So constantly taking classes, continued education. I read a lot of books on hypnosis, and then as far as studies go, just online, just searching the publications to read about like studies with hypnosis, right, and relaxation.
But you are psychologist, you say before.
Well, no, I studied psychology. I'm not a psychologist, right? A hypnotherapist, so hypnosis. I'm a hypnotist. So yeah, no medical degree.
So you have a lot of studies.
I read.
You have a lot of resources.
Yes.
Wow. How long you are involved in this kind of practicing?
So about 5 years now.
5 years. Wow, long days, right? And how do people follow you? So how do people know about you, Kelly?
So a lot of it is referrals by mouth. Google hypnosis, right? And I'll pop up if you Google hypnosis. And then again, a lot of referrals. I have hope.rd is my Instagram account. Hope.rd .hypnosis is a Facebook account. So yeah.
How did this Buddha is outside of you, huge Buddha, arrive to your home?
So Buddha. So I wasn't looking for Buddha, right? They always find us, don't they? Yeah. So we're in Napa, and then as we leave, go through down through American Canyon. There's a statuary.
Right.
In American Canyon.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And the Buddha was there, and Buddha was there for a long time.
Wow.
Right? And so it used to be years ago that every weekend, every Saturday and Sunday, I would drive in and out of through American Canyon, and so I saw Buddha every day. And I was like, he needs a home here.
Right.
And the crazy thing is I'm not even a Buddhist. He just needed to find his home here. And so finally one day I said, that's it. I'm just going to go buy this Buddha. And he's going to go in the front yard. And everybody said, your front yard, he belongs in the backyard. I said, no. He belongs in the front yard, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, it's a huge Buddha. Seriously, it's amazing. And
but Buddha, but my Buddha, right? So here's the fun thing about him is that as you look at him, his eyes are closed,
right,
and his mouth is closed, and he's very calm, and he has very long ears, right? So he's listening,
Listen.
And that's my job. So my job, I don't have any magic words that, you come in and magically your whole life shifts in a session, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I have is the ability to listen to you and to help you find your own inner resources, because you have, all of us, we have all the resources we need to shift inside of us. And so my job is to listen.
That's interesting you say that, because this match with my story. I was only one time in one psychology guy when my parents broke out.
Yeah.
You know, I was very depressed with that because I was very close to my dad and my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom decided to put me in the psychology office, right? And I remember I was only one time because the psychologist say, you know that you have the question and you have your own answers. So you need to work it yourself. I say, well, I don't need to come back to this guy, right? So all is in me, right? I have my own question, I have my own answer. I can be my own psychology.
Yes. However, think of when you've been in moments of crisis.
It's a true story.
Yeah. However, when we're think about when you've had a problem, right? We get stuck in our head, and then we start that spin cycle, right? And we're just going and going and going, and then our emotions come into play, right? And then the anxiety builds, and then the stress builds, right? And then so you have all these emotions building, and your head's doing the spin cycle, and then we get stuck.
Right.
And then we start running that same pattern over and over and over again.
Right.
And then all the other issues from all the years, it kind of builds up. It's almost like I think of it like a pressure cooker, right? And then builds and builds and builds. And then you get to the point where you either say, okay, I'm done, I need help, or you just continue to let it, build, and then just everything gets out of control, right? So yeah, so that's oftentimes why we can't access our inner resources. Like the psychologist said, you have it all in you. Everybody does. But sometimes we can't access them because we're stuck in that spin cycle, right? We're stuck in that pattern.
I remember you invited me a long time ago, like a webinar, like a seminar in Zoom, I think so, right?
Zoom, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, hypnosis over Zoom. Yeah,
Wow,
it's
tell me about
fascinating.
that.
So most people are like, are you sure hypnosis is effective, over Zoom? It's just as effective online over Zoom